Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of Teardown Tuesday. And today we're taking a look at very common devices in commercial kitchen equipment. And those are thermocouples and thermopiles. Now, before we get too far into this, it's very important that we make the distinction between the two. So which one is which? A thermocouple is a single element, has a very low DC voltage output. A thermopile has several individual elements inside it and has a much higher DC voltage output. So when we compare the two, you can think of the thermopile, the larger diameter one here, as a pile of thermocouples. So where do you see these? The most common application you see thermocouples and thermopiles is in pilot flame safety. And in the case of the thermocouple, you typically see it connected to a valve like this. We call this a basotrol valve. And this has an electromagnetic coil inside it and uses the small voltage from the thermocouple to hold that plunger open. The common applications for thermopiles are more complex valve systems. We're still doing pilot safety, but we may also be doing thermostatic control. We may be using the higher voltage output from the thermopile to also operate the main gas valve internal, like in the case of this larger combination valve. So when we talk about how this would typically be installed, there would be a pilot flame in a small pilot assembly, and we would have either the thermocouple or the thermopile held near that flame. So the flame typically is across about a third of the thermocouple or thermopile. You don't want to have the flame across too much because these devices work on a heat differential. You need to have more heat on one side than the other. And both devices use that same principle. So it is possible to get them too hot and actually lower the output because they're too hot. So when we talk about the key external features here, the thermocouple has the hot junction, which is out at the tip. It has a cold junction, which is further back, and it has this armored casing over the actual mechanism, the actual thermocouple. Then you've got some kind of lead, and typically on a thermocouple, the basic lead design is this copper casing. There are some variations, but this is the typical. The thermocouple itself is actually out here in the end. The thermopile is similar in that it's still got the armored casing. This one doesn't have the copper casing, but the thermocouples themselves are out here in the end. Now there's also a variation of this called a pilot generator. The tip still is the same though. You still have the same pile of thermocouples in the tip. So let's go ahead and open up the thermocouple first and take a look at what's inside the armored casing. I believe what we've got here is actually the cold junction. So we've got the hot junction out here and the cold junction back here. The difference in temperature between these 2 points is what actually creates the voltage in our system, our DC voltage. And the way that these are constructed, there's two different types of metal that are joined together here. And it relies on those two different types of metal to create that voltage when they're heated. So we have both two types of metal and a temperature difference between the hot and cold junction to create that voltage. So let's take a look now inside the thermopile and see what that looks like. Had to do a little more work to get that one apart, but now you can start to see how the Thermopile is made up of a series of individual thermocouples. There's quite a few of them in here, there's more than 20. And then they're all protected by that metal casing. And there's also a fine white powder in here that takes up airspace, makes it possible for heat to transfer through into each individual thermocouple. So that's how we get a significantly higher DC voltage output from a Thermopile than we do from our thermocouple. We've stacked all of the thermocouples up to create the Thermopile. So when we talk about principles of operation for a thermocouple or a Thermopile, both are relying on a bimetal, two different types of metal, with a hot junction and a cold junction, and then the difference in temperature between the hot and cold junction. And we use that difference in temperature, that difference in heat, to create a DC voltage. And in the case of the Thermopile, we create a higher voltage, and with the thermocouple, we create a lower voltage. That will always be a DC voltage. When we talk about how they fail, the most common failures are either low output or no output. So you can have a low or weak voltage output from a thermocouple or a Thermopile after they've had months or years of exposure to that high flame temperature. You can also have no output. You can burn up a thermocouple or a Thermopile. That's why it's very important to make sure when you're installing a new component or setting up a new piece of equipment for the first time, you always adjust the pilot flame to the manufacturer's specification. And in the case of a Thermopile, that's typically a voltage output. They'll have you check the voltage output. So again, very common. These do wear out over time. They will produce weaker voltage output or no voltage output, especially if they're overheated. And they are pretty commonly replaced. They're also relatively inexpensive, in particular when compared to something like a large combination valve. So they are always a good part to start with if you're not sure. And in the case of the Thermopile, you've got pretty easy access to the test points. In the case of the thermocouple, you have to recognize that your two voltage connections, or your two connections for checking voltage, are the copper outer casing and the little button here. And if you over tighten this nut when you are installing the thermocouple, you will crush that very small insulator washer in there and dead short the thermocouple. So that's another way you can take a brand new thermocouple and create a failure. Thanks for watching. I think this will do it for now. Hi folks, my name is Jack Kell and I'm a Senior Technical Trainer for Smartcare. The video you've just watched is part of a larger series of technical training videos we make available to our technicians at Smartcare. If you found this interesting and you'd like to see more, please subscribe. I'll be releasing a new component teardown video every Tuesday in 2022. If you're already a Smartcare technician and you have a part that you'd like to see me tear down, please reach out to me internally for shipping instructions. If you're not a Smartcare technician, but you or someone you know would like to learn more about a career as a service technician specializing in commercial restaurant equipment, please check out our open positions at www.smartcaresolutions.com/careers. Thanks for watching.